I want to talk to you about what the process of doubt is. And I want to do this by telling you a story that I'm sure some of you have not heard. In 2005, I went to Salt Lake City and spent a month in a Zen retreat. How many of you remember? Some of you were around in 2005 remember what happened. I got all beaten up. So it's 2005. I'm spending a month in Salt Lake City, and I'm there because I'm searching for truth. I'm searching for a spiritual path. And I'm staying in a house about a mile away from where the Zen retreat was held. I borrowed a bike from underneath the house. I'm riding one day, fall off the bike. Next thing I remember, I'm in hospital. The broken arm and a heavy concussion. Apparently, while I was concussed, I even made a phone call. Jean McCabe, if you're here this morning, I believe it was Jean that I called while I was concussed, and she played back the message for me. I was making arrangements about something that needed to happen here. So I'm wandering around Salt Lake City, dazed, pushing a bike. That's not an unusual sight in Salt Lake City. What was unusual was that I was covered in blood, and my arm was all twisted. Someone eventually found me and took me to the hospital. One of the questions that was asked to me when I got to the hospital, and I do remember this, was, do you know where you are? My answer was, I know that I'm in Salt Lake City, but I don't know why I'm here. Which turned out to be a more poignant answer than I even realized, because I was about to discover over the next 3 weeks why I was there. You see, I was given a fast-track lesson in the process of doubt. I learned from the Zen teacher in Salt Lake City about a very famous Zen named Tozan, who described the 5 ranks of enlightenment, or the 5 stages of enlightenment. I think I went through every one of them in 3 weeks. Let me describe to you these 5 stages and how it worked for me and how it may also work for you. The first stage is that you seek a spiritual path. You look for spiritual growth. Now, stage 1 in this process is when life becomes a little meaningless for you. You say to yourself, there has to be more than this. There has to be more than meets the eye. So you might join a church. You might join a yoga class. You might look for a new teacher. You might pick up a new book. One way or another, you look for spiritual growth. It's the doubt of the way life is going for you that leads you on this spiritual path. So doubt is there every step of these 5 stages. Now for me, I was in Salt Lake City full of doubt. That was about the same time that back here there were people maneuvering, trying to have me removed from this place and posturing and politicking to have me shipped back to Australia. I had a lot of doubts about who I could trust, about what the future held, about what it meant to be a spiritual teacher. I was racked with doubt when I first arrived in Salt Lake City on this spiritual path. And for me, it was a searching for something that I could hold on to in the midst of the uncertainty. So the first stage is to seek a path, to go on a path of spiritual growth. The second stage is to hit your first wall. And I hit the wall, literally, in Salt Lake City. You see, once you've set out on this new path, you've joined a church, you've gained a new teacher, you've joined a class, whatever it is, inevitably you will eventually hit a wall. It won't give you the answers that you're hoping for. You hit a wall of new doubt. It's a new level, a new layer of doubt. Maybe the teacher's not all that you hoped for. Maybe you're not as flexible as you'd hoped in the yoga class. Maybe you don't get all the answers that you'd wished for. And so you hit the wall and you wondered what was the point of even setting out on this spiritual path to begin with. Now this can happen, this hitting the wall can happen in all sorts of ways. We can doubt a new president. We can doubt a parent. We can doubt Penn State College and their football program. We can doubt all those things that to this point we've trusted implicitly. But the doubt is very much out there. Things haven't lined up the way we were expecting. So this second stage of doubt is hitting the first wall. The third stage is to get through that wall and to land on the other side in a place of bliss. Now, in this third stage, through meditation, through nature, through some type of awareness, maybe in a relationship, maybe a deep feeling of love for another human being, maybe by taking up a cause of something greater than yourself, one way or another, you find yourself landing in bliss. You realize that beyond the doubts, Descartes was right. There's one who is behind those doubts, the doubter, the thinker, the liver, the experiencer, which is solid while all else changes. That's a beautiful experience. You want to stay there forever, which is part of the problem. So in this third stage, you have a peak experience of something that feels blissful, and you want it to last forever. Inevitably, something will happen that will take you to the fourth stage, which is called the fall from grace. In this third stage, it's all grace, all gratitude. The fall from grace is a far more intimate doubt than the first doubt. Now it's not out there. Now it's the doubt about what's happening inside of me. This is a profound doubt. This can be completely disorienting for you, and it's so disappointing because you think you've already survived the doubt. You think you've already come through to a place of certainty, but now you're questioning even that. You question everything, and you question it from the inside out. The fifth stage in Tozan's stages of growth, I'm going to call it spiritual mastery. Now, from a place of spiritual mastery, you come to the perspective that everything can change around you. You can doubt everything, but the doubt can't control you. This is a place of emotional mastery, where you feel things deeply. You stand right in the middle of doubt without shirking it, without hiding from it. But at the same time, you know that that doubt is not driving you. It's not ruling you. This place of spiritual mastery is also called the Bodhisattva vow, where you want everyone who's suffering to experience what you have experienced. And so you make it your life mission to go back into everyday life and to live it as an act of service to others. Let me finish with one inspiration for you. You know, one of the great figures in history who's modeled this staying in doubt is Mother Teresa. And we generally hear about all the incredible good works that she did, but more recently we've discovered that for most of her life she was racked with doubt. Doubt of herself, doubt in what's the point, doubt in God. And she lived so much of her life in darkness, and I can't help thinking that's because she knew that darkness so well, and because she wasn't afraid to stay there, that she was able to offer compassion to others who exist in darkness. Without darkness, there is no light. Without doubt, there is no certainty. Without a leap of faith, believing that your actions make a difference, even if you can't see the effect. Mother Teresa is a wonderful example to us of someone who didn't know for sure that she was making a difference, but kept going anyway. That ultimately is the spiritual path. To go in and out of doubt, back and forth between grace and doubt, but to stay on the path. To stay in the darkness, stay in the doubt, and to believe that at the right time and in the right places, your life and your efforts do make a difference. So this morning I honor the place in you which is full of doubt. Feel it. Think them out loud. Question everything. And that place in you which doubts even yourself, go deep into it. Get beneath the doubts to the one who is able to doubt, to observe those doubts. That is stable. That's what often we call the God within, or intuition. And I honor that place that comes from me to you now. Namaste.